class 5 in your e-learning classes. This is your revision class of science, and we are revising the very first chapter, health and hygiene. We have revised already the components of the food and what is what kind of food and what kind of things we have to do, which rules we have to follow to maintain our health and hygiene. Now next, today we will revise the balanced diet. We know what is balanced diet. Balanced diet means, so today we will revise the balanced diet. What is balanced diet? Balanced diet means the diet in which it contains the right proportion of different nutrients, roughage and water needed for the proper functioning of our body is called a balanced diet. That means from each and every section, the food should be there or the meal should be there in a such amount and in a such way that all and every component of the food should be involved or included in our meals. So the whole day long, whatever we are eating, there should be carbohydrate, there should be fat, there should be vitamins, there should be minerals along with roughage and lots of water. It will make our diet balanced diet, and whatever the nutrients are needed for our body, we will get from here. So this is the balanced diet. We come to know what is the balanced diet. Balanced diet means the balanced diet contains all kind of nutrients in a proper function, in a right amount, in a right proportion, and it should contain all different nutrients, and roughage and water should be needed along with these all kinds of nutrients. So that is the right amount and right proportion of the all content makes a food or make a diet, a complete diet or a balanced diet. Okay, so you have to take all kinds of components from each section. Now the next part is preserving nutrients of the food. The food we eat should be kept properly or stored properly, otherwise it will become spoiled. So there are so many ways to keep our food in a proper way, but before that we should know the all kinds of food, whether it is a dry foods, whether we should know the ways to keep them. Okay, and the fresh fruits and vegetables, we have to wash them properly so the dust and germs get away from the food particles or from the food components. And whatever the storing part, it should be done in a very neat and clean way to store the food properly so the food will not become spoiled. So for this way we have to take few of the ways. What are they? First of all, fruits and vegetables should be washed properly to make them free from dust and chemicals. As we know now, the fruits and vegetables are being sprayed by pesticide and insecticide. If it will go inside our body, it will make harm to us. So before to eat these kind of fruits and vegetables, we have to wash them properly so the dust particle, dirt particle along with the chemicals washed away. Second one is, if food should be cooked in a proper way, so it should not be half cooked. So if you will eat the food which is not being cooked properly, then you will have the stomach ache. And if you will eat the food which is overboiled or overcooked, that is also bad, because all nutrients will become destroyed within the overcooked food. So food should be cooked in a proper way or in a proper time. Okay, so next, raw and cooked food should be stored properly, otherwise they get spoiled due to the germs. As we know, nowadays there is too much hot. We will keep our food items out of refrigerator, then it will get spoiled because germs will attack those food items and it will become spoiled. So for short period of time, we can keep the things in the refrigerator. If we want to keep the food items for weeks or maybe 10 days to 15 days, that time we have to keep those food items in a deep freezer. And there are some other ways for keeping or storing the food. These are, first one, preservating nutrients of the food. What are they? First is dehydration. It will dehydrate or it will take off all the moisture content from the food. It can stay in our home for a long time. So dehydration is the first method or the first step to keep or to store the food in our home. Next one is canning. Canning is a special process. Whatever the food item, we should keep or store inside the can or a container in which we want to keep the food item. Then we have to heat the can gradually, so the all air driven out from the container or that can, and then when it will become vacuum, vacuum is being formed within the can, then quickly it should be chilled and sealed. So the food item will become safe from the all kinds of germs and microbes, and we can keep these cans for a long time. Next one is salting. Salting, there again the salting is two type. One is dry salting, when we are just giving some salt on the food item and drying it in the sunlight or the sunbathe. And another type of salting is there which fishermen do usually. They keep the some kinds of fishes in the can, and they pour the container or the can with the salty water where the sodium chloride is there, and this kind of salty water is called brine solution. So they keep the fishes in the brine solution for the long time, and this kind of brine solution or the salty water keep the things safe for few days. Now next is sweetening. If we keep the things within very concentrated chashni, or you can say the water which is filled with sugar syrup, or the sugar syrup in which the water content is very less, and the sugar syrup must be very concentrated, then the food item will again remain good for a long time. Not for a very long time, but maybe 10 to 15 days. So these all are the ways which are showing you and which are given here to preserve your food in a good state for a long time. So that's all for today, and next we will take some another part of the chapter, that is diseases. Okay, till that, goodbye.